If there are no comments, you can close it.
There are no comments, so we will close it. Meeting closed. Now we will open the City of Boonville Council meeting. Barry, you're up.
Everybody join me in pledge allegiance to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh Lord, we come to you tonight to help you to help us make the best possible decision by this council for citizens of Boonville. In your name we pray.
Amen. Thank you, Barry. Roll call.
Elbert.
Here.
Venable.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
Bechtel.
Here.
Young.
Here.
Meadows.
Here.
Coward.
Here.
Harville.
Here. Thank you. Hearing of citizens' comments. There are none. Approval of the minutes of August 4th. They're on pages 3 to 5. Are there any corrections or changes? Then they will stand approved as submitted. Consent items. Consider pay app number 6 in the amount of $128,946. It's on, to Spectrum Environmental LLC for asbestos and lead abatement at A&D Barracks at Kemper Park.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion we approve the above consent item.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions?
So we pretty
Steve.
close, excuse me. Are we pretty close to finishing that?
Yeah, I reached out to the contractor and DNR was coming to do the last set of wipe samples, so they come and wipe areas down to test for lead, and they were doing that this week.
Good.
And so I think we're pretty much nearing the end.
All right.
Have there been any contact with Chris Ailes regarding the abatement?
Yes, and we had a meeting actually several weeks ago when I knew they were close because they were to the demolition point of the work that needed to be done in conjunction.
Yeah, we wanted to cooperate with that.
Right, and we had a meeting, and in that meeting, they exchanged business cards, and I just, and so it moved forward.
Yeah, so he knows the around
knows we're close.
timing and that this fall it'll be done.
Yep.
And okay, great, thank you.
And Kate, do we anticipate that 239, 957 is all we'll have left? No change
Yep,
orders?
they haven't had any change orders,
Okay.
I don't think. They said that, maybe I better check. Nope, 0 change orders.
If I get any questions around town, I get questions about progress at Kemper. If we think this is a point at which we might want to publicize a little bit of progress, this might be a good one, because when we get these inspections done, that's a biggie. At least we know it's a biggie, not everybody knows it.
Yeah, and as a reminder, when we get to the clean letter, at that point in time, we'll exchange we'll give them the property anyway, so that will come through at city council, and I think that's the time to talk about it.
You think? Mm-hmm. All right.
Yep.
And it's both buildings, which is great. It's
Yes.
not just the one, it's
Correct.
both. We're done with this, moving on, great.
And then they're open for development, open for continued usage? Is that the plan?
He's putting in the senior housing in both A and D,
Yeah,
and he's doing all the development work himself.
okay.
Anybody else want to go? Oh, this is good. Item 6, presentation of,
We need a roll
Need a roll call.
we need a roll call?
Elbert.
Yes.
Venable.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Bechtel.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Coward.
Yes.
Harville.
Yes.
I'd even written myself a note to call for that, too. I missed it. Item 6, presentation of accounts and claims. It's on page 8.
Be it ordained by the council of the city of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the city of Boonville, which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on August 18, 2025, the sum of $636,400.94. General fund, $264,884.44. Sanitation, $25,095.54. CIP tax, $13,313.37. Waterworks, $57,606.01. Capital projects, $159,170.70. Wastewater, $32,112.76. Tourism, $24,194.13. Gaming, $28,613.72. Parks Water, $3,007.49. Kemper sales tax, $28,402.78. Economic development projects, $0.00. Section 2, the accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $636,400.94, being the total amount of money being appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. First reading on August 18, 2025. Read for the second time this August 18, 2025, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mayor, I move we approve this ordinance appropriating money.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Bechtel,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
yes,
Coward,
Yes.
Harville.
Yes.
Unfinished business. Second reading of bill number 2025-017, establishing the tax levy for fiscal year 2025-2026. Page 9 and 10.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri establishing the rate of taxes to be levied on all property subject to taxes in the City of Boonville, Missouri for the fiscal year beginning April 1, 2025.
Mayor,
Yes, go.
I move that we approve this ordinance.
That was good.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Questions or comments?
Kate, this is just restating that this is no change in the tax levy from before.
No
It's just
tax.
reconfirming what it is.
Yep, the amount has stayed the same. I think this is the third year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The rate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Obert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Bechtel,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
yes,
Coward,
Yes.
Harville.
Yes. Item 8A, first reading of bill number 2025-018, amending chapter 21, solid waste disposal. It's on pages 11 through 13.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, amending Chapter 21, Water, Sewers, and Solid Waste Disposal, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Thank you. Item B, first reading of bill number 2025-019, amending the personnel manual effective October 1, 2025. It's on pages 14 through 63.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, amending the Boonville Code of General Ordinances, Section 2-35, adopting the October 1, 2025 City of Boonville Personnel Manual, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Thank you. Item C, first reading of bill number 2025-020, approving a final site plan for Ballparks Central. It's on pages 64 through 81.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, approving the final site plan for Ballpark Central located at Jackson Road, Boonville, Cooper County, Missouri, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Item 9, reports of standing committees. Boonville Housing Authority on page 82. Susan, any thoughts or questions?
the minutes are in the packet. The main question is, you know, housing, they're at full capacity. They're anxious to hear about barracks A and D. So I told them that we were on the last leg of the abatement and but the needs out there, that's the main concern.
That's a hard or difficult housing to fulfill.
Yeah,
And I think the last time, was those houses on the alley? Isn't that the
On
last
what?
houses we put up?
on where did you say?
On the alley across from St. Peter and Paul's School?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think
Sixth
so.
Street or something.
Isn't that-
Rear Sixth Street.
Over in that area,
Isn't that the last ones we
Yeah.
put up?
Yes, because the ones over on
Yeah, that's been-
off of Pendleton were
What's
put
that
up
been,
in
15
years.
years?
Years ago.
Long time ago.
It's been
Been
there a
more
while.
than 15,
Oh, yeah,
You think? 20 years?
that's the least, what it's
Yeah.
gonna say.
yeah.
But they are, houses with 2-bedroom and particularly 1-bedroom are in big demand.
Yeah.
And they've got people on waiting lists, so,
Well, that, as I remember it, that committee deals with an extraordinarily wide breadth of situations, and you guys really have to work hard.
yeah. They do a pretty impressive job, I gotta say.
Yeah.
And dealing with the economics of our current environment, and dealing with grants and things like that, they're really put to the task.
Yeah, but were most of those grants outside the city, or were they internal? Because I remember they were outside.
These are outside, the ones that they've been discussing at the meetings.
Wow. How many houses are they looking for?
You know, I don't know that I don't know the answer to
Okay.
that.
Well, they do important work.
Yeah,
That's
they do.
big time help in the city. And those clients, they'd be in big trouble without them.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Susan. Anybody else have questions for Susan? Okay, item B, Planning and Zoning Commission. Aye.
Yeah, we had the meeting minutes inside the,
Can you speak up just a little, please?
we have the meeting minutes inside the bulletin as well, or the agenda for the week. The final site plan was the big topic of discussion. They came forward with 3 variances that they were asking for. One was on a gravel exception except for ADA parking. One was on lighting of the parking lot. Due to no lights on the field, they asked that the parking lot not be lighted as well because there should be no games being held at night. The third thing they asked for a variance on was shading in the parking lot. There's a 25% requirement. They're asking for a variance from that because of needing that space for rocks for stormwater drainage. The Planning and Zoning Committee met. We approved those variances, and then we approved the final site plan contingent on the building plans and updated plans submitted by city staff and engineer. So it's our suggestion that we do approve this as it sets with the variances that they've asked for.
Okay. Any questions? For Si? Thanks, Si. Item 10, reports of city officials, city administrator.
Just a couple things. One, I just want to let you guys know, speaking of housing, we are ready to move to the next step of the Second and Vine project. So next council meeting, there will be a public hearing again regarding the 353, so the tax abatement. The information is gonna be, there's just a few details we're finalizing right now, but it will be available on the city's website. We're also notifying all of the taxing districts as required, and it'll be in the paper, so people will know what will happen. But that meeting will be on the 2nd, and there will also be a first reading approving the tax abatement and the development agreement. So that project is moving forward, and I believe he said December of 26. Yeah, December 26th he hopes to be completed. So he's moving right along on that project. So just so you're aware of that. I also wanted to let you know that we did receive all of the bank bids most recently, so we have to bid our bank depository out statutorily. We were supposed to do it last year, if you remember, but upon the recommendation of staff due to our changeover on the software system, we decided to hold off for one more year. So we're already a year down the road. We received 4 bids. Historically, we have always allowed people, we have a couple accounts, smaller accounts that are non-interest bearing, and that interest that's gained is kind of like their payment. But then we don't pay for any services. We don't pay for checks. Well, we pay for checks, but we don't pay for every transaction fee on a ACH or anything like that. So they give us deposit books and those money bags and all the things we need. So we received 4 bids. One of the bids always provides us with a fee for service instead of taking the interest rate. So they were thrown out, and the other 3 were First State Community Bank, who we currently have, Southern Bank, and then BTC Bank. First State's interest rate, which is really the biggest component to our decision as to who we're going to go with that for the most part. The interest rate they're going to provide is 85% of the federal funds rate, and there's no floor or ceiling, so no maximum or minimum on that percentage. The second bid was Southern Bank, and with them it was 90% of the 91-day T-bill rate or 13-week T-bill rate, with a floor of 1, a ceiling of 5, or they provided an alternative that you get a flat 3% all the time. The last one was BTC Bank, also using the 91 T-bill rate, but whatever the rate is the interest rate that we will get, with a floor of 1 and a ceiling of 4.5. So we have been looking at these, and it would be, I'm happy to have further discussion, but my recommendation based off of some research that we've been doing is that it appears to me that most likely, looking at a crystal ball a little bit, that the BTC Bank with the 91-day T-bill rate with a floor of 1 and a ceiling of 4.5 is probably the best. And I say that because the T-bills are trending downward, so I don't think we're actually likely to hit a ceiling, which is what Southern Bank was offering. And then also, I think just losing that 10% it's gonna keep growing in the wrong direction. I think if the second best option likely would be the 85% federal funds rate, or consider just taking the flat 3% if you're feeling more conservative. But I guess my recommendation is honestly the BTC Bank is probably the best bid forecasting what we think is going to happen. So they did provide on the next agenda, unless there's a bunch of things that you guys tell me between now and then, and that seems that then there's maybe more discussion, or you would like more discussion with the banks too. That's also a possibility, but trying to.
And the time frame we're committing to is 1 year?
It's three years with a 2-year extension. So, and we've been with First State now for 6 years.
Kate, can I ask a couple questions on it?
Mm-hmm.
When you put together your recommendation, do you do financial modeling on it based on what we think we will need or use over the course of the year? What's your method?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, I just looked at, we used some AI to help us model this time around for sure, but we just sort of figured like what we think we most likely will carry in some of our interest-bearing accounts, and then we kind of worked like what is the best of these options based off of these things, and let AI do its work. The city's checking account has I'll say checking account, but their general account has gotten a lot bigger than probably in the past we've let it get, primarily because from COVID and really moving forward, the rates on CDs and stuff were so low. We kept getting more in our general account, so we kept putting more money in there. So, but we have been making strides to get some of that back out now that that's changing a little bit, just because, I don't think it's in our best interest, but we do commit to a minimum balance, but usually our balance is much higher than that.
Okay.
So the next Federal Reserve meeting is scheduled for September 16th. So if we meet, that would be
The day
after
after.
our
Yeah.
second September meeting, correct? So depending on when we want to do the timing on this, odds are pointing that there will be a reduction in the Federal Reserve rate,
Yeah.
which won't have a direct impact on the 90-day, or minor impact on the
Yeah.
90-day T-bill. So just something to keep in
Yeah.
mind, it's a big month in September to see what happens with the Federal Reserve rate, so.
Are we on a tight approval schedule for that, or
I was
could we
just
wait
gonna
until
look and
after that
see.
reserve board?
Do you remember, Teresa, offhand what we said we were gonna switch? Was it January? Or is it November? We do this so long ago, then I forget what our time frame is. I mean, we could run another meeting, that would be fine. I mean, we're trying to
might
be
not
a
hurt.
little more preemptive than
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah, they may not.
It's a little bit hard always, because they're not always the same. They don't use the same sources, so then you're like, well, is this T-bill source better than this T-bill source? So there's,
It's November 1st.
November 1st, so we could run it another one if you guys want. I can also have them come to the meeting if you want to talk to them.
It may be worth not rushing into it before October 1.
I'm on that
Okay.
page, yeah.
Then,
Didn't they come last year? Didn't we have a discussion a little bit last year, I think?
I think
Briefly.
some of
Yeah,
them
but
came
A lot of
in.
a lot of the issue last year was when we had put it out for bid before we realized we ran into the snag with the computer software switchover. And at that point in time, we had already had bids. We wanted to make sure all of the bidders had the opportunity to come and understand
Revise.
why we were withdrawing the bid solicitations.
Yeah.
I can go ahead on the next agenda. I'll just put a discussion item and invite all three of the banks, First State, Southern, and BTC to come, and they can answer questions and have, we can give them whatever, 10 minutes or 5, however much council wants to do. And then you guys can just hear them, and then that way we can kind of talk about it. We'll have to have a first reading on the 15th, but we could postpone it all until October. You'll just have to, we just can't
Can't do that. We
not
have to
have a
make
meeting.
it. Whenever
can't-
it's on the agenda, I'm sure we'll make a decision anyway. so.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can
Waiting
talk
if-
about next meeting if you guys want to
I
put it
mean,
then on the
I
next
think
one.
having it prepped for September with information and then final vote in October is not a bad thing.
I think that's smart, yeah.
Okay. We will proceed as, and then also I just, it's actually underneath your additional information, but there is, a bid provided for, a clarifier. I'm actually gonna have Kevin come up here because now that's all I know. No, I know a little bit more, but they're gonna be able to tell you a lot more. This is just mainly, a repair that needs to be done. But anyways, we did get a couple bids on this one at least, so it's not a one bid thing. But as we do need a motion on this, from council to move forward. And I'll just
What are we motioning?
I'm gonna let Kevin talk
He's gonna
first.
tell us.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Clarifier number 2 at the wastewater treatment plant went down back in April. We switched over to clarifier 1 back then, and we worked on the top clarifier drive to get it, make sure that was working. And it had shear pins in the gear. We found metal shears in there. So we repaired it, put it back in. Hopefully that was getting it back up and running, but it did not. So then we went in and tried to turn it by hand to see what was wrong with it. It did not spin. We could not get it to spin by hand, which we should be able to spin it by hand. So that's when we found out that the lower drive has an issue. Well, with the lower drive having an issue, now it has to be craned, like the walkway has to be craned off. The whole top drive has to be craned off, and we have to take that lower drive off and send it off to get repaired. So that's the cost that we're asking to get repaired.
So
This is a repair, not a replacement.
No, this is a repair. And then on the second, if you look on the second quote, There is a, JCI did quote a replacement drive on there, but we said no to that because we believe it can get repaired.
Kevin, there's only two, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so
only
right
two.
now, we're operating on,
Yeah, we're only operating on one. That's why we're asking for it to be repaired.
yeah, are
Because-
both those machines and drives the same age? Same,
Yes.
Same amount of wear, essentially?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the life cycle on these?
They should last about 25 years. And the last time this was repaired was 2018.
Oh, so
And then
that's
it was
not
repaired
20,
in, yes, and then it was repaired in 2011. When me and
Is
Mr.
there a-
Detto, when me and Mr. Detto went back and looked at the records, they've been repaired every 7 years.
Yeah, I'm assuming the warranty's like 2 years.
Yes. So we're going to repair it and then look and see exactly what is going on with the drives and see, and
So do you have
So
a
that way-
maintenance shop out there that, to look at your equipment every day, to just to make sure everything's
yes, we,
working right?
that's what we, look at. So that's why we switch them back and forth, because we can
So you
only,
have a
we only
ma-
need one
We have a
clarifier
you
at
do
a
have a
time.
maintenance man to go through there and do
Yes.
preventive maintenance on your equipment
Yes,
every day?
yes, sir. And then we switch them back and forth to make sure we're doing maintenance on them. But with the age, I think it was, they were put in back in 1998. So,
So you hadn't did maintenance since 1998, or you
oh, no,
have? You have
we
did-
do maintenance like every 6 months.
Every
But
6
we're
months.
out there every day checking on them. And then we're doing maintenance every 6 months, switching them back and forth.
So Alliance has a maintenance man on
Yes.
the, on the job
On-
shop?
every day.
Every day?
Yes, we're checking them, making sure they have oil, making sure they're greased every 2 weeks.
So, go ahead.
Are both drive units and both motors, big electric motors, I think, right? Or is that what they are, that sit over the top
Yes.
of them that turn them? Are they both the same age and they were both installed in late 90s? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? So on a 25-year life cycle, they're both at the end of their life, essentially, right?
Yeah, but we're maintaining them,
Yeah,
they're,
yeah.
they're gonna last longer than that.
Okay.
So your recommendation is to do these and hold off on the filters then?
We're doing the valves instead of the filters.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're
Oh,
we're
this
buying
is-
a little
this is-
time.
This is a wastewater treatment.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, but I mean, it
Yep.
would be because we budgeted those.
Yeah, so we're using the money from the valves in some ways to
Okay.
work on this one, and then,
Yep.
Sure.
and then we're gonna put money in valves, and then over the next 3 years, we'll allocate the money for the,
Yes, and with the filters, we have switched chemicals, because we did a study back in the winter on our coagulant up at the river, and we switched chemicals in April, and we have seen really good turbidity numbers on our filters, and which has helped us with the life cycle of our filters, and that's all gone down.
So this is just worn out equipment?
Yes.
And
Yeah, this is the,
I've got a couple of questions here. So the suggestions, you got two different bids, 51, 54,000, it looks like, for the replace or repair, right?
yes, sir,
All right, Alliance,
mechanical services.
is that a part of Alliance?
No, sir,
It's a separate
totally
company.
different company.
Just had to ask. Sorry, I had to ask.
Yes,
My second, and it really wouldn't have mattered because I did kind of some knee-jerk research, and it looks like 50,000, 51,000 is below the average repair cost of 65 to 200,000 on those.
yes.
So that seems to be really low. Any type of warranty on their work?
For Alliance Mechanical Services?
Yeah.
Yes, they do have warranty,
Is it like a couple of years?
like 90 days. But they're here, they work with the city all the time, like they one replaced back in 2018 and 2011.
And that's like all in. They're gonna pull it out,
Yes.
fix everything and put it back.
Yes. They've been working with the city for years.
do a lot of work with us.
Yes, they've been doing a lot of work for the city.
Okay, thank you.
And Alliance looks like they turned it around a lot faster than JCI, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 3, 4, or 11 weeks or something like that on the other?
And what are we looking for from us?
A motion to approve the work for Alliance to fix the clarifier number 2.
Is there such a motion?
I would
Second.
make a motion to, yeah, unless
We have a
somebody already
motion.
has. Yeah.
Who's,
First, second.
got a second? Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Albert,
Yeah.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Bechtel,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Marvel.
Yes.
Get her done.
Thank you. That's all I have. That's all I have.
That's all you have?
Yep.
Really? Well done. I have nothing. I already had the discussion with Susan. City clerk,
Nothing.
nothing. City attorney,
I'll be very brief. I just wanted to, we only did the first reading tonight. I wanted to touch on briefly the proposed change in the ordinance for chapter 21 that had to do with collection rates. It was brought to my attention, there had been an audit done by Waste Management, and Waste Management had discovered that there were multiple city services bills that included water but did not include solid waste collection by their own audit, and then followed up with City Hall. City Hall followed up with me, and this has been a discrepancy now that's been going on for years, oftentimes inadvertently, where a residence or an apartment building duplex property owner would request that water be left on, but didn't want solid waste services. And then, next thing you knew, a new tenant would take over, and water services were still provided and billed for. Solid waste services were not being billed for, even though they were receiving solid waste services. That's what triggered this audit, an internal audit by Waste Management, showed it to us and said the numbers are off. Went back and looked, was helped with Teresa. This goes back to 1982 ordinance. So it definitely needed to be clarified. So what I included in the packet was on page 13 was the original ordinance, and then below it was the proposed ordinance. I wanted to just clarify the areas highlighted in yellow where it's the language that's added, and the areas in red is what we struck through, basically clarifying that if a property owner did not want city services, they needed to cancel city services. If they want city services, they're going to get water and solid waste, because it's not the city's job to go determine whether they are or not using a trash can from a previous tenant. Again, a lot of property owners, it was done unintentionally. There's no allegation of wrongdoing, except we need to make it right with Waste Management because we've now contracted with them. So, if any of your constituents have any questions or seek clarification on why this ordinance is, we're asking to change this, that's why. I'd be open to questions if anyone on the council or any citizens have any as well, so.
in a firm statement, the property owner is the obligatory person.
Well, property owner, in this case, in regards to the ordinance, there's a specific area that says that property owners are supposed to provide to the city whether or not their units are vacant or occupied. That unfortunately hasn't happened through the years. Oftentimes, if someone's responsible for their own city services, they need to turn it on or fully cancel it. So what has happened through the years sometimes is tenant vacates, property owner says, I still want water on, but no one's there, I don't want to pay for trash. So then, next thing you know, new tenant moves in, they're getting the benefit of solid waste removal without paying for it,
Bingo.
to our
That's-
detriment.
We need to make that absolutely
And
clear.
that's why I
It's
spoke
property-
tonight with it being the
property
first
owner.
reading before we come back for a second reading and discussion. So if there's anyone listening out there or any of your constituents,
And
contact
if
you.
any of the property owners want to, wait, I'm a property owner.
Yep.
I need to understand that too. I'm obligated
It's just
because
all
I'm
or
the
nothing.
property.
It's all or nothing, and if you
Right.
read in the ordinance, if a property owner or a tenant ceases and cancels full services, they're entitled to a pro rata charge. So it's just trying to clarify this ordinance as it relates to city services, which include solid waste and water.
Can I ask a quick little question there? So the grandfathering of those that exist now with one or, half
This
the
is
service?
no,
Is it, they
we're-
stay?
So, well, after hopefully the ordinance passes, it was a first reading, second reading, it's gonna go into effect. We've sent notices out to any of the individuals or property
Okay.
owners that we thought may be affected by this, to try to be transparent and give full notice to the general public.
Okay.
Right, let me make that clear, we're not gonna go back after.
No, it's not retroactive. No,
As of
we-
today.
Okay.
No, the way that I wrote the ordinance, and you'll see it in the packet, is I propose that it become effective as of September 2nd, assuming we have an approval of the second reading. So it's not retroactive. We're not going back to bill anybody
Oh,
for,
it just
no.
would drive us crazy.
I don't want to be part of that, no.
no. No, going into the next billing cycle, that's when
I
we're
think
looking
that's
at
right, yeah.
adding
That
in
was my
solid
question.
waste for any units that are in effect.
Good,
That's all I've
good
got, Mr. Mayor.
investigation, Brad.
Thank Teresa on that one.
Teresa? All right, any miscellaneous? Speak now or forever.
I got one.
Go
I was
for
talking
it.
about Alliance Water. You know, what I mean, I just think that we, as a citizen of Boonville, we need to have our own people out there, because we don't know what's going on out there. We just gotta believe what they say. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that we should have somebody from the city working alongside Alliance Water to come back to us too. Because, you know, if we're doing all this repairing work, you know, because things breaks down, you know what I mean? We need to know about preventing maintenances, you know what I mean, or something like this. Because now we got work on the weirs, now we got clarifier going out. What's going on out there? You know, you understand what I'm trying to say?
Can I put that in my words?
Yes.
We're thinking that our people don't know what's going on because our supplier of services is not telling us?
No, I'm saying we've got an outside vendor, and I think that Boonville should be represented alongside Alliance too, instead of having an outside vendor. We need to be involved with the wastewater or wastewater treatment plant or Alliance water treatment plant. We need to be represented out there, still just trusting, you know what I mean? We need to know.
I think the tough part might be establishing the expertise.
Well, they're supposed to be having A and B and C licensed operators out there.
Yeah, they're all they're Alliance employees, so when we contract those services, but to your point, Jeff works very closely with them. So by the time it came to you, Jeff goes out, and if we need our engineers, Scott will look at those things as well. So, and they're an open book. So if you want to go look at their maintenance records, you can go look at their maintenance records, and they talk about what they're doing. So unfortunately, what I'll tell you is now, however many years I've been here, water and wastewater and the Missouri River is very hard on equipment. It is just, it's expensive to maintain, and this is just how it is. And usually we don't know when they're gonna break until they break sometimes. So, I understand to your question, but I do wanna say Jeff is working with them closely. So, but obviously neither Jeff or I have the level of expertise that they have. So yes, just like we rely on Miko for the engineering help, we rely on them to look at the options. And if we have questions, we'll work with Miko if it's an engineering issue.
There's a reason we hired a management firm to do this. I don't think we need to manage a management firm.
If I can interject, just from a legal point of view, this is very similar, Barry, to what I just talked about with waste management. Like when I was a kid, we had local garbage trucks. We got to a point where we needed additional services. We contracted out with Waste Management. We reasonably rely on Waste Management to provide the numbers, covered thing. When there's issues with Waste Management, it comes before the council. I can say to Alliance's credit, they're here at every meeting. I do know that Public Works and Miko work regularly with them, but they're also contractually bound to the city. So if there was any allegation of wrongdoing, it would have to be addressed by the council in regards to our contract with them. But the analogy with Waste Management was a good one. I think that they have an internal audit. We look at their numbers they produce. I'm not going to go back and want to go through their numbers to say, wait a minute, on this particular unit, you didn't charge appropriately.
Barry, if you have concerns, I would encourage a tour. Like,
Yes.
we went out there and toured everything where they show their maintenance records, show everything. Like, if there's concerns, just go out and talk to them and see if they'll give you a tour.
Okay. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Should we adjourn before we do,
Yeah, those are not necessary.
okay. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second? Second.
I got your
Okay, all in favor? Up and gone.